Hello everyone, this is Donna from Even the Scales, and I'm back on my channel right now because I want to talk about the stalking that I just had to put up with when I went to the shops. I was stalked all the way to the shops and all the way home by people in all different kinds of vehicles, and these are people who are viewing into my home illegally, and they're also tracking my vehicle, and they can also see my devices. I have absolutely no privacy. So whenever I leave the house, there's people that actually either track me on the road or they will follow me to the shopping centre, and then they will stalk me at the shopping centre. So this just happened. I was stalked all the way there and all the way home and in the car park by a lot of people. There's not quite as many as there was before, but there's still a fair number of people involved in this. These neighbours too, I talked about them on the last two videos that I have just put up, or that I'm about to put up, and they also track my vehicle. So they're viewing into my home illegally, they're watching my devices illegally, some of them are able to control the air in my home, and they're also able to see my devices and where I'm going and what I'm doing, what I'm spending, where I'm spending, exactly where I am at all times. So they know when I'm about to leave my home because they'll see me getting ready and they'll see me walk out the door. And then they know where I'm going, how long I'm going to be, and they know when I'm on my way home too. So that gives them opportunities to set up abuse for when I'm leaving the house and when I am returning home, because they know I'm on my way home. And so that they're watching my every single move. And yeah, some of these people never stop. That's all they do with their lives. Then when I was in the shopping centre today, there was quite a few stalkers that these people try and get close to me when I'm at the shopping centre to carry out cruel psychological abuse based on my movements in my house and the things that I do and say in my house. So not based on my movements in my house, but based on the things that I'm doing, the things that I say, the things that I look up online and things like that. They'll try and get close to me and they'll say different things to either carry out psychological abuse around whatever the matter is, or they'll say something about, for instance, they'll say something about something that I searched online, or they'll say something about something that I've done in my house or something that I've said in my house. And they do that just to let me know that they've been viewing into my home illegally, and that they have that, I guess that domination over me of being able to watch everything I do. And what they're trying to do when I'm at the shopping centre is that they're trying to trigger me they're trying to provoke me to have a mental health outburst. That's what they're trying to do, because the whole time I'm out, I'm provoked by people. And it's not just the things I do and say in my home that they're using to put me through psychological abuse. It is also information from my past that has been researched by whoever is coordinating this abuse. Whoever is coordinating this abuse, they must work for the justice system, or they're being hired by the justice system to put me through this. This person has researched my life in great detail, dating right back to my childhood, and they have gotten that information from my family members and different people that I've known from my past. I mean, this person must have gone back to every single connection that I have ever had in my life with another person, even if I hardly know that person. If I have even, just in anyone I've encountered in my life and had a conversation with at one stage in my life, even if it's only one conversation, These people have researched and they've gone back and they've just found out absolutely everything in great detail about my past. So when I go to the shopping centre, there's people that come towards me and they use that information against me to try and make me remember things from my past that they think might be abusive or that I went through trauma from, that there must be some kind of list that these people go to. They're going to some kind of app where they can track my vehicle and there's information there that they can use to put me through abuse. And it's like whoever's coordinating this, they will add information to that web page or whatever it is every day, or that app, about things that they can use based on things that I've done in my home, things that I've looked up online, and just things that I talk about in these videos too. When I talk about things in these videos to protect myself, these people will do those things more. But I don't care because it doesn't, they're not going to get the reaction out of me that they want. I mean, they got one out of me the other night. I was severely traumatised though. I had been put through severe abuse for days by these neighbours, and they were abusing the oxygen in my home, the air. And that was for hours and hours and hours. That turned into days non-stop. That's what they were doing. And yeah, I did. I had an emotional reaction the other night, as anyone would. Anyone that's gone through this kind of thing would go through emotional outbursts every now and then. And that's what I even say to these people. They're viewing into my home illegally and they're putting me through this abuse. And I say to them, why are you doing this? Because I have the right to cry out for help as much as I like, because you're abusing the oxygen in my home. It's just like, if someone was being suffocated, they would cry out for help. These people are abusing the oxygen in my home and there's no one to help me. There's no police. They encourage it. The Campbelltown police encourage the abuse. So I say to them, why are you doing this? But the only reason that they can be doing it is because they're watching my heartbeat on a monitor as well. And they're trying to cause me to have a heart attack. Because, I can yell and scream as much as I like. I'm trying to fight for my life here. So it's not that, they can't say that I'm having a mental health breakdown because I'm screaming for help for my life to breathe clean air in my home. So they're doing it because they're watching my heart on a monitor. And they're watching my heart on a monitor because there has been a monitor placed in my body that monitors my vital signs, that these people must be able to view that on this app or on this, wherever they go online to look at all this. Like, it's probably all in one place. They're able to track my vehicle. They're able to watch me in my home. They're able to get information off there of how to put me through abuse. And yeah, it's probably all in one place, some kind of app on the dark web or something like that. And they're able to look at my heartbeat on that too, to see if I'm panicking as they're putting me through abuse. So yeah, when I was just at the shopping centre, I was put through abuse. And when I'm at the shopping centre, they're watching my heartbeat. And, this device probably shows them where I am in the shopping centre too. So they're able to, follow me and be exactly where I am. And then they try and get close to me, close enough to be able to, say something that's meant to trigger me, or to make me panic because I know that person's been viewing into my home illegally. But when I'm at the shopping centre, I really do think it's more that they are trying to make me have a mental health outburst. Because when I'm at the shopping centre, there's people that come from all different directions. It's constant. From the second I pull out the driveway, there's people following me on the road, sometimes before I even get in my car, because the neighbours will be set up doing something because they know I'm about to walk out the door. So from the second I walk out the door, if I'm not being abused in my home, I'm being abused out. out in public. And when I'm in the shopping centre, these people come from every direction, and they've all got some kind of psychological abuse to carry out. Today there was lookalikes as well, because I had mentioned the pedophile that I reported in 2020 that the police did nothing about. There was lookalikes everywhere of the pedophile. That's what they do. That they get lookalikes from my past of people that have put me through abuse in the past. So that happened today. And, you know, my family, they're sitting back, they're watching me go through this, and they're just hoping that these abusers can keep me, you know, keep my life stuck in that stuck position. So my family are relying on these abusers to either abuse me to death or at least keep my life stuck. You know, that's exactly what's happening. I'm being abused 24 hours a day to just keep my life at a standstill, to try. I mean, these people aren't keeping my life at a standstill. They're not, because I'm still, you know, I'm still getting by in life. I'm still moving forward. I'm not focusing on the past. I'm focusing on the future. These people, all they're focused on is the past. I'm focused on the future. They may slow me down, and they may upset me every now and then. They may get me to that point where I just can't take anymore, especially when my air's being abused. But I mean, it's a normal reaction. If you're suffocating to breathe clean air, you know, you've got every right to scream for help. And the other night when they did get that reaction out of me, I had been abused for all that day and all that night from these neighbours, and it was the air in my home that was being attacked. So, you know, they're never going to get that reaction that they want from me at the shopping centre. But I just wanted to make it known what they're doing, that they send these stalkers to me at the shopping centre to provoke me. They're trying to make me lash out at these people because they want me to look crazy, because they go to such extremes to do this. You know, I'm going to look crazy if I turn around and say, that person just mentioned something that I did in my house, they're viewing illegally into my home. I can't go to the police and say that. Even the other night, the police turned up here because I had been calling out for help. And the police turned up here because someone called them. Or the Campbelltown police also view into my home illegally, so they may have known that the neighbours were abusing me, so they thought, oh, here's a good opportunity, let's turn up there. You know, she's been abused from the Campbelltown police so much, if we turn up, it might be just enough to tip her over the edge. You know, I think that's what they tried to do. And, you know, they come out here, they said that there was nothing that they could do about it. But if I turn around and say to those police, like I did, I told them that the neighbours were abusing the air in my home through their range hoods. But even that, it sounds crazy. See, because they want me to sound crazy. They've gone to such extremes to do this, to carry out this abuse on me. There's so many people involved that if I say anything about it to anyone, I look crazy. That's why I've had to create this channel, and it's taken time for people to see the big picture, and you really have to see the big picture of what's happening to know, you know, to fully understand what's going on. Because I forgot to mention in those last videos I made about the device that's implanted in my body, and how these people can, you know, monitor my heartbeat. And that's because the health department are involved, and they put that device, they implanted that device in my body when I went and had a procedure done without my knowledge. So see, you've got to see the big picture of what's going on. And these people have gone to extremes. So it's, you know, if I turn around at the shopping centre and I say, like, these people are stalking me, I've been stalked all the way here, this person's talking about something that I've done on my device, there, you know, I'm going to look crazy, because that's what they want to happen. They want me to do that. They want me to have a mental health breakdown in public. They want me to lash out at people and look crazy. And it's not going to happen. because that's why I created this channel. So I just thought I'd talk about what happened then. And I just thought and not only that, it gives me a chance. Every time these people put me through abuse, it gives me another chance to talk about it on my channel. It gives me another chance of, hopefully more people finding out what's happening so that these people are stopped, so that this can never happen again to anybody. It also gives me a chance to mention my family involvement as well. It gives me a chance to mention the neighbours and the landlord, St George Community Housing's involvement as well. It gives me a chance to mention that the leaders of Campbelltown have sat back and watched this go on for 19 months and done absolutely nothing, as I've been put through inhumane abuse in my home and when I go out. It gives me a chance to mention that. It gives me a chance to mention that the Campbelltown police are encouraging this. That's all it does. And that's all it's ever going to do. So, yeah, they just gave me stuff to talk about when I went out. And the more these people do this, the more really silly it looks. It looks so silly. These people use information from my past. They'll do things about that are based on people that I've known, that I knew 45 years ago, that I haven't even crossed my mind for 45 years. But that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to constantly remind me of my past. But they can't control my mind. That's what they're trying to do. It's mind control abuse. They're trying to control where my mind goes to. So they'll do something and it's supposed to remind me of an abusive person from my past. And it does, but the thought comes in and then it goes. They have no control over my mind whatsoever. But that's what they're trying to do. And the more it goes on, the more silly it looks. It really does, especially when you're trying to use stuff from when I was 12 years old. It's just ridiculous. It really is. I just thought I'd talk about what just happened when I went down to Campbelltown at the shopping centre. It happens at I go to 4 shopping centres in this area. It happens at every single one of them. And it's at all levels of the shopping centre. It is, and there's a lot of people involved. And the people that stalk me when I go out, they are viewing illegally into my home. They're viewing me in my home, taking notes, getting ideas on what to do. And the person that's coordinating this, that puts these ideas up on this app or whatever it is, or I don't know if it's them coming up with a lot of these ideas or if it's just the people that are viewing into my home illegally that are coming up with these ideas, but some of them are so sick. They really are. They are so deranged. They are vulgar and disgusting. They really are. So whoever that person is, I think it's the one that's doing this work for the justice system. That person is very sick with the way their mind thinks. And the only way I know is because I'm so intuitive. That's why I know what they're doing. So, yeah, hopefully these people are caught and this is going to stop because I want it to stop. If there's anyone out there that can help me have these cameras removed from my home, who can help me hold St George Community Housing and these neighbours accountable for what they've done, please contact me on the email that will be attached to this video. If you can help me in any way to raise public awareness about this abuse and what's happening, please share one of my videos, or if you can help me in any other way to raise public awareness, please do. Thank you for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.